All right. This is a Port Jackson fig that I found on the side of the road, planted in a Japanese bonsai pot. Collected 12 months ago. It's basically a stump that was cut by some random person deep inside there. I don't know if you can actually see it, but there was a stump chop made on this tree. And what ended up happening is that you'll probably see after I give it its first style. This is the cut that was made by some random dude. And then when I came along, I cut this one and the one on the inside. So if we find the front of the tree, which is here, you can see right there and right here where I've made the first cuts. This tree has not stopped. It has so much vigour. We're in summer here in Australia, Sydney, where these things just grow native like weeds. Yeah, that's the reason why I collect these ones, is because I can't kill them. They are so bulletproof, even an amateur like me can't kill it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to attack this tree. I'm going to chop the shit out of it, and I'm going to get a bit of an idea of the first styling. So from when it was gathered, this is what it's done, and it was just a trunk. So let's get into it and not stand around talking shit. Let's actually torture this puppy. All right. So first cut, right there. I might even take this out so you can open up the middle. However, it is a nice branch, but you do want to see inside. So this will give you a look at the trunk. Gives you a bit of an idea of what's happening with the shape and styling. What I'm thinking is I'm going to start building some of this ramification out. This is obviously the primary leader, and this is a secondary leader, and this is going to be a side branch. I think I'm going to put some heavy wire on this and pull it down. I didn't want to chop it off because I've got these beautiful aerial roots happening here. Yeah, but I'm going to take it out here like that. So we have our leader coming up here. I'll keep these branches on as sacrificial branches. I can always chop them off. I can put some wire on this one. Let's do a chop right. Bottom facing branch, side. I'm going to go there. Right. And I'm going to go right side. So with the direction of these guys, if I have the leaf on this side, I'm going to shoot a branch that way. If I have a branch this side, it's going to come this way. So right now I'm wanting things to not grow to your face. Let's just take this one, just to shorten him. Okay, secondary leader, I'm going to take him here. Take this branch. I'm thinking there. This one. So if I pull this down, this will be my first big heavy branch. So that's going to take a bit of heavy wire. Now I could possibly chuck some wire on him now. Stick that through. I think I'll just tie it up onto the main leader, like that. Now, you can criticise me for my wiring all you want. This wire will not be on very long. Reason why is these things thicken up very quickly, and because it's soft, you're going to get some wire bite. Now, they'll all tell you that the wire should be tight but not too tight, but you shouldn't see a gap. I don't mind a bit of a gap. Why? Why don't I mind a bit of gap? Because this puppy is going to swell up real quick. And the idea is not to get wire bite, so give it some breathing room. Let's pull that down a bit. Let's see. I could probably put a guide wire on it. So, coming out there. So what am I doing with this one? It's growing towards you. So what I might do is just take out this forward shooting branch. I might leave this here because it'll contribute to the thickening here and the growth going over. Now you can see it a bit clearer. I have this branch here and this branch here. What I might do is probably take out the height a bit on this thing. So my leader comes up, comes across. If I want it to shoot back that way, I'm thinking that would be the place to cut it, to get a branch to shoot out there. So I can wire this. I can get it to come over a bit more, get a bit of movement. This one here, I want him to come this way. So keeping him lower than the other one. He's going to grow out here. All right. So what I might do is attack the back of the tree. This is growing into the back of the tree. It can be sacrificial, but I think it's not serving any purpose. It's as useless as tits on a bull. Getting into the back of the tree. This looks a bit disappointing, bit of shit. But what does grab my eye is this straight branch that comes all the way up. Now I could lose that, I think. So let's have a look at this side branch. I think I might just dock him there for now. Dock him right there for now. Let's get cutting. This branch at the back, you know what, I'm going to lose it back here. I'm going to leave one leaf on. One leaf on. As you can see, yeah, she's pumping out with sap. The sap is a sign of vigour. When these things are bleeding like a stuck pig, you know that they're forcing that sap up for new growth. If you look at all these leaves, they're shiny, healthy. The node distance is starting to increase. My leaf size is big. And one way to get your leaf size down is to cut. You have to cut. You have to tell this thing to produce more leaves, not big leaves. So what have I got here? I've got a little branch here coming out. Now, if I take this, that will be a step in the right direction of ramification. So, like that. Get this cut. There we go. All right. This is one of the cuts I did when I collected the tree, and all this growth is taken off. I have a choice here. Well, before I talk about side branches, I know I have to shorten this up. There's a chance that if I cut it here, that it might not back bud. However, it needs to. It's just a long dangly string bean at the moment. But my biggest problem with this thing is this straight thing here. I'm thinking of taking it off really low, like that, having a look at the back of the tree. I'd have to cut it right back in there. I think that will be the go. If I can get this tool in, I can always nibble it out later. All right, so there it is. I finally bit the bullet and got rid of it. Now, I can leave it like that and it can actually fuse over. It will probably back bud in this area, and these area roots, I want to actually straighten them out because it's looking like a dog's breakfast at the moment. This little branch here, I think he's going to just piss off for a second. And this one here, you don't want that shit growing there. Fuck it off. And this is a bit of a pain in the ass, but I do like the back branch. The back branch is rolled over. However, this one here, looking at the front of the tree, you can see it. It's like sticking up like the morning wood. Morning glory. Well, I think that thing is just going to have to... It's got this beautiful taproot coming here, and it's connected to it there. Maybe I'll take it above the taproot and see if I get some other branching coming out on this guy. I'm going to get rid of that. I might get rid of that too. Fuck it off. So, just get rid of it. Now, she's looking like she's been attacked now, doesn't she? She's had a hard night. I'm going to take that, shorten this branch to get some ramification. I'm going to leave one leaf on. This one here. You know what? I'll leave one leaf on. This thing is going to have to back bud. Let's just see what it does. I can pull this down with a bit of wire as well. I might do that. This one I'll leave a couple of leaves. That way I've got opportunity there. And pull this one down. This I'll keep on. I'll let it strengthen up because what I can do is treat this like a sacrificial and then come along and go cut right there. And then this is the branch. So I've got a hard bit that's got to catch up to those and this, and I can bring that out. But for now, I'll keep it. I'll cut that there, and I'll cut that there. All right, so how's the damage? So pulling that down has helped a bit. This wire will not be here very long at all. It's just there to pull this down. Maybe I'll put a guy wire down to the root just to pull it in. That's easier done than said. Now this thing, I'm still considering losing it. Because this is the branch I want to work with. It's stronger, it's got more vigor, but you know what? I won't completely axe it. I'll take it back here. There's a point here where it'll tip, and I can probably grow branching this way. I've got this guy here which I can lower down. This guy here, I think I'm going to put some heavy wire on him as well, just to see if I can oops, there's a root. Motherfucker. Let's go like this. Just trap it there. Like I said before, this thing will have the wire taken off very quickly. It's only just so it will get set. Might put some weight on this as well. So now that wire's too loose, but I can tell you now that this thing is going to take off in that direction. So I'm pretty happy with overall. I might do a little guide wire off this root. Let's have a look at what we can do. And this training won't be there for very long. You saw how much it grew in 12 months. Well, this thing will probably get another month or two of growth before I have to remove the wire. And that wire is going to help it from biting into the wire. But that's where we are right now with that. So she's going to grow out this way. I don't know how that looks from where you're sitting, but this is the first style. I have cut off stuff that I don't want. I'm thinking I could probably bring this down, but I think that's just sacrificial. It's going to create a bulge here. The decision is that I keep this out there. This one could be brought down. Let's have a look. So it's a bit big, that wire. That one. As you can see, I reuse my wire because I'm a cheapskate. And when it comes to money, I'm as tight as a fish's arsehole. I see these people on their channels and they just cut the wire. They put it on. If I do that, mate, I'll go broke. I'll be on the poverty line in no time. I'm not far from it, actually. Might have to go down to Centrelink tomorrow and say I need some fucking handouts. Excuse the language. I'm just gonna put a bit of training on this because it might be something that I'll keep, or it might be something that I'll just destroy later on. I'll give it another wrap there. Now, which way do I want that? I reckon to come around the corner a bit out here. Let these guys roll out like that. Yeah, I can muck around with those. So I've cut a fair bit of green off this thing. I've given it quite a haircut. And there's a pile of greenery beside it, but one thing I can say, it's not a bad start for a tree that I found laying on the side of the road. Looking at the trunk size, you know, that's a can of Coke about there for scale. If I had a bottle or something, Voss water, and that would give you a comparison to a Voss water bottle. So it's got a trunk, and it looks like it's received damage here. There's a bit of good growth here, and here where it's starting to grow a new cambion or bark. So I might get some peat moss and put peat moss here and see if I can induce more roots to come over this to cover it. And maybe I start the root growth from up the top and run down to hide that scarring. I'll give you a spin so you can see the whole tree. And to find something like this, you're doing pretty well, pretty lucky. I've got him bent down a bit. Last thing I want to do is snap the bugger. So this will all back bud. It'll shoot branches back in here, back in here. Friggin' ants. I hate the dogs. You can see my cuts that I made when I very first took it from the wild here. This is all grown back in 12 months. And that's the other cut there. So I'm curious to see where it's going to back bud, where I've made those cuts. There was a big root here, and it was as thick as your thumb, and it came out on a pretty wild angle. And I've just gone, yeah, that doesn't look any good. When you look at the tree, I can see a curve in the base. It comes up, breaks into two, apexes eventually, and then I'm going to tear off some heavy branches. And overall, I think this tree will be about that big and possibly that wide, maybe bigger. But this is first year, first styling, a nice little find. Make some comments if you want, bag me out on my shit wiring, but you know what? No one gets to see it but me. And it's not going to stay on there for very long. It's going to come off in a couple of months once they start to set. I'm going to fertilise. I water it every single day. And if you want to know what I'm growing it in, it is vermiculite, perlite, and a chook manure that I got from a farm. And it has these little fibres of wood. So there's organic stuff in there. It stays nice and moist, and I'm in a very dry climate here. However, this guy loves humidity. So in winter, I have to put it in a greenhouse. But tell me what you think of the tree. I've got two more that I found next to this one. They're nowhere near as impressive as this. But one's just a straight up trunk, no movement. It's probably going to be a broom style. The other one, well, you'll have to see that. I actually had to look up movement. Is there such thing as too much movement in a bonsai? Because this thing moves like a snake and it's off its head. I don't know what I'm going to do, but my next video, it will be a first styling, just like this guy, and it might possibly be a pot up. I've got to find a pot that it fits, and it'll be an interesting video to watch actually, because I have no idea what it's going to look like. Where this one, it's pretty straightforward on how it looks. I mean, you can't get it wrong. This is so simple for anyone to work out. how to make a tree out of it. I mean, this thing's going to bonsai itself naturally. I don't have that much creativity when it comes to bonsai, but have a look, you can see it's coming together. All right, stay tuned for the next video. I hope you like it. If you want to see progression on this one, I'm going to do a couple of videos on updates on how it's sprung back from this cutback. It's quite a hard cutback, but let's see how it recovers from what I've just done to it. I've just tortured the shit out of it, chopped it, but these things are bulletproof and I'm pretty confident in it. Anyway, thanks guys. I hope you liked the Port Jackson fig in Sydney. Yeah, the roadside find. People call it Yamadori, but I'm no bonsai snob. It's a fucking tree. Enjoy. Catch you later. Bye.